In this part of the chapter, let's look at how one goes about describing nominal, ordinal, and interval level variables. Any variable can be described by two properties that it has. Central tendency, that is a typical or average value of a variable, or I would say the value that best typifies the variable. And in several cases we'll look at, there is no value that best typifies the variable. Why? Because of the other aspect of description. Dispersion, variation, or spread. They're all interchangeable terms. Dispersion. That describes the extent to which the units of analysis are distributed across the values of the variable. Are the cases or the units of analysis spread out, or are they clustered around a certain value of the variable? There are three measures of central tendency. The mode of any variable is the common most value of the variable. You can find the mode of any at any level of measurement. Sometimes with interval variables it doesn't really help a lot to find the mode, but it's the only measure of central tendency that can be used with nominal variables. The median is a second measure of central tendency that can be used with ordinal and interval level variables. It's the middlemost value, the 50th percentile. So when you find the median, half the cases fall below the median and half the cases fall above the median. Same as the 50th percentile, and again can be used for ordinals and intervals. And then the arithmetic mean, the arithmetic average. This can be used for interval level variables only. Add up all the values, divide by the number of cases. This is for intervals only. Now let's talk more about dispersion. In fact, I've chosen the examples in this chapter to highlight this aspect of description because I think it's neglected. It's underappreciated. I think we live in a very mean-centric, if you will, average-centric world in which people are very focused on means and averages as typical measures. Let's appreciate the value of dispersion. After all, we use it in political language all the time. Some very good political words are dispersion words. When we talk about polarization, we're not talking about the central tendency of a distribution. We're talking about its shape. You have a large percentage of people at one end of an issue and a large percentage at the other end polarized. Consensus is also a distributional word. Consensus would imply that values are clustered around one policy choice. Equality or egalitarianism suggests that the values are spread out among all units of analysis. In fact, let's think about a couple of scenarios here. This is an ideal case now. What does a variable look like when it has maximum dispersion, maximum spread? It looks like this. Of course, it's a stylized example, but this particular variable, which could be anything, has 12 values from code 1 to code 12. And notice that each value of the variable has the same percentage of cases, a little bit more than 8% of the cases here. This would be a scenario where a variable had maximum spread. So just sort of keep that idealization in mind. A variable has minimum dispersion, logically enough, if it looks like this. 100% of the cases are at any one value. I just drew it here at value number 1, but you could have that 100% bar anywhere. And this is a scenario where the variable has no variation or no spread. All right, let's talk now about, with these sort of concepts in mind, the central tendency and dispersion. How do you depict, how do you analyze and describe variables? Frequency distributions. This is tabular data. You create a table of frequency that shows a frequency distribution. Bar chart is a visual expression of a frequency distribution. It's a graphic companion of frequency distributions. Box plots can be used with intervals and ordinal variables that have a lot of values. This is also, box plots emphasize dispersion. They show you central tendency, but it also gives you a very good idea of dispersion.